Okay.
Some of you will agree to share similar experiences. Some of you will not. Simple as that.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that answer the issue?
It does, yes.
All right.
How can I help people love themselves more?
You can share with them the idea that goes hand in hand with doing so, the self-empowerment that results from this, the sense of creativity and connection to source that results from loving yourself unconditionally. You can share those ideas. You can even demonstrate them even better in how you live your life, being a living example of loving yourself, so they can see in you an opportunity to choose the same thing. At the same time, you must love them unconditionally enough to allow them to choose whatever they choose, even if it isn't what you would wish for them.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help you?
It does.
Thank you.
Good evening.
And to you, good day.
Thank you so much. I love you.
You are welcome so much. I love you too.
And I don't really know what question I was going to ask.
Can you make a statement then?
I love you.
Is there an echo in here?
Okay, I have a question actually.
Thank you.
Is it possible?
Anything is possible. What you're asking is it probable?
Okay. Is it probable to fly in this life with your physical body like Superman or Peter Pan?
Yes, it is probable. But what degree of probability depends upon the person's belief systems and the reason why they might choose such a thing and the need for it to happen in their reality.
Say you just wanted to fly just
Idle
for the fun of it.
curiosity doesn't usually do it.
Would your belief system have to be powerful enough to overcome gravity?
It's not about power, it's about clarity. There has to be a clear reason in how it serves you to do so, and how it may serve others for you to do so as well. There has to be a choice made within the idea of the exploration of a theme that is to the benefit of you and all concerned as to that happening. Now, that's becoming more and more probable in your reality as you get a better handle on the idea of what consciousness is and what beliefs are all about and how they manifest your physical reality experience, and the fact that it takes place within your consciousness and not really outside. So the idea really is a vibratory one, a resonance one, a frequency one. In the sense of how it happens in our reality, one of the ways we began to realize that such a thing was highly probable was when we first recognized that what you call location is actually a property of the object itself, not a place in which an object resides. So when you know that location is a property of the object and you learn to redefine the vibrational variable in the equation, the energy equation of the object, then if the location happens to be 50 feet off the ground and you impose that vibratory resonance or change that vibratory resonance within the location variable in the equation of the object, then the object must by definition start to exist 50 feet off the ground because that's its new locational variable. So it's all about frequency, it's all about resonance, it's all about knowing what your energy signature is and how your beliefs can align themselves to generate the appropriate energy signature to manifest that particular kind of an experience.
Thank you.
Did that clarify it or muddy it up for you?
Muddy.
All right. Let's simplify this idea. If there is a true, strong, I'll put it this way, reason or need for this to happen, the probability becomes much, much greater that it will. But you will find that many people wish for these things, in a sense, out of fascination or idle curiosity, but they really, 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 really don't need them to happen. And so they don't.
That's kind of what I thought you would say.
Well, there you go. You see how smart you are?
Yes. Thank you.
Now, does that help you?
Yes.
All right.
Pleasant dreams.
And to you as well.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm very, very excited to be here with you.
All right, thank you, as are we.
Last night I had a dream, and you were in my dream, and several things happened. But one thing that you said, I was looking forward to hearing if you can help me to understand. You said to me, and actually, Kirby was in the dream as well.
All right.
And we were standing next to each other, and you put your hand over our hearts and said something to the effect that we're about to ride a horse, or a horse with you, or like you, or something like that.
Yes.
And is there anything?
That's not clear.
Well,
You can say no.
No.
Oh, thank you. You want, in a sense, an interpretation of that.
Yes.
All right. You are about to take a galloping ride into a new reality. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Was that so difficult?
No.
The horse symbolizes in many cultures the new way, the new direction, and travels at a higher rate of speed than you do. So riding that horse is riding the new wave, the new direction, the new energy. And if you are ready to do so, it will take you very far, very fast, if your hearts are in it. You understand?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, I'm wondering if I have a connection to the hybrid children. I have lots and lots of dreams.
Why do you wonder that you have such a connection? Does not the wonderment itself in some ways tell you that in some way you do?
Yes.
Because it doesn't feel like an idle curiosity, does it? It feels like a heartfelt connection, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Then that should tell you something. Yes?
I'm also wondering, I have
You do a lot of wondering.
oh I have nephews that are triplets.
Yes.
And
There's that number 3 again.
yes, I have a lot of threes, lots of threes in my life.
And
And
that should tell you something too.
can you tell me?
Did I not already say we resonate to 3s?
Yes. Well, in the dream last night that I had, there was several other people there at one point, and they were all saying we were family.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah. Okay. In the hybrid, with the hybridization
Yes.
program in the children, I'm curious about. I know they're being prepared for a future time to integrate here and to come here, but are any here now and maybe not? I don't know how to.
Not those hybrids, no.
So that's. I was wondering.
There are children being born on your planet that have hybridized DNA, but they are not the hybrids we're referring to that are right now on the ships.
Okay. The triplets that I was just talking about, are any of them?
All of them. You must understand that basically, with few exceptions for certain reasons we will not go into right now, almost any child being born within the last 10 to 20 of your years has hybridized DNA that allows them not to forget as much of who they are. And in that context, that generation is not just a different generation. In some senses, because of the alteration of their DNA, they are a different species. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
And they are, in that sense, capable of teaching a lot of you a lot of things about what's to come. Does that help you?
It does. Thank you.
Anything else?
Is there anything that you can reflect from my higher self to me?
Where's your imagination conduit? That was from your higher self.
Okay. Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. Now, one moment. Are you aware and were you present in the transmission last night of your time?
No.
We gave and shared an idea of a certain permission slip exercise that involved a mirror. You will find great advantage specifically in utilizing these exercises. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I also have a dream experience.
Oh, all right. Everyone here is dreaming.
Yes. After the transmission last night, I had a situation where someone came to me in the dream and said, "Do you have any more questions?" And my question spontaneously, without thinking, was, why do we sleep so much? Is it biologically necessary? And the answer was, no, it's not fully biologically necessary. It's actually a safety valve, because if you've come here with the agreement that you're going to be masters of limitation when you're in your waking state, you need some time to connect to your higher self and to all that is. And that's why you sleep so long, is to create a balance. And that's why you will also transform through that way first.
Yes, generally so. But more important than the idea of the sleep, even though that is to some degree still necessary for your species, it is the idea that you need to dream. Many people can find they can go a long time without sleep so much, but if they are prevented from dreaming, they will go stark raving mad. Because the only thing then in control totally is the physical mind. And without that reconnection to the higher mind in dreaming and many of the other spirit levels, you will find that the physical mind simply does not have what it takes to maintain your focus in physical reality. So while dreaming many times goes hand in hand with sleep as a natural cycle in that sense, and yes, it is true, most of you don't necessarily need as much as you think of sleep, the real idea is that what you need to do from time to time is dream. You follow?
Yes, I do.
So you really need just enough sleep to allow you the idea of a full dream cycle for recharging and reconnection.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
G'day.
And you good day.
You explained the significance of...
Speak up, speak up.
Hello. Better?
Proceed.
Thank you. You explained the significance of 1-1 and 11 with reflection.
Yes.
What are the significant dates in 2012 and what's the meaning behind them?
There are many significant dates for a variety of reasons, each of which represent certain kinds of miniature threshold crossings that help amplify and build up the consciousness and allow the collective consciousness to meet the leading edge of its wave for the major threshold crossing, as you say, on December 21st. So many of them are like amplifying points, in a sense, like step-up transformer points, each of which is its own gateway, representative of a certain vibrational energy of creativity and action and alignment and so on and so forth. You will find that many of them express themselves in similar numbers, as has already been experienced on your planet, such as 311 and 911 and so on and so forth. These ideas can be turned around to have much more positive vibratory meanings. And by being utilized in that way will help amplify your collective consciousness toward the crossing of the threshold to allow the transition to be smooth instead of catastrophic. Make sense?
Marginally.
Marginally, all right.
More specifically, say, for example, what was that date in December? Next in 2012, what was it? The
21st.
21st.
What you call the winter solstice.
Yeah, more specifically, could you just like explain the meaning behind 2-1, 12, and 12 again? Specific date.
Again, the idea is that it represents the crossing of a threshold of the collective consciousness, the leading edge of the buildup of the wave of your awakening and recognition. In crossing that threshold, you will actually use these resonant numbers to tip the scales, in a sense. Going from the idea of 1, 2 to 2, 1, still both being 3. You have a 3, 3 on either side. But it will go from the idea of being slightly negative to being slightly more positive for the first time in thousands of years on your planet in terms of the overall energy. So you're using that resonance and the reversal of the numbers as the crossing of the gateway to go from one side to another. It's similar to what we did in the mirror experiments where the energy crossed itself from one reality, one parallel reality to another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good evening.
And to you, good day.
Are we going to reach a point on our planet where we won't have perpetual war at some point?
Yes, but that Earth already exists. Again, remember what we are saying. The planet you are on right now will never change. You will change, and you will shift yourself more and more to an Earth that already exists on the vibratory level you have just described. And thus then you will experience that reality on that Earth. But this Earth and all the other Earths never change. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So it's possible to get marooned here then, isn't it?
No. Unless you choose to be marooned.
To be here.
But do you prefer that?
No.
Then why would you choose that?
Because it seems like a lot of people choose that. We're constantly fighting with each other.
That's because they don't know they have a choice. So the more you can share with them that there is a choice, not that they necessarily will have to listen, but the more you can share and by example show them that there's a choice, then at least you give them more of an opportunity to choose something else.
So that all pain and suffering is a choice?
Pain and suffering is resistance to the natural self. You know when you have what you call in your technology resistance in a wire?
Yes.
What happens?
Nothing gets through.
And it builds up heat?
And then it melts?
Thank you. Why do you think you're any different? Resistance to the natural flow of your true vibration will create blockages. Things will start to snap apart. Heat will build up. Things will melt down. Nothing gets through. It's the same idea. Become superconductive. Thus, then energy will flow. And again, remember, your outer technology is a reflection of what's going on in your inner consciousness. You have the idea of exploring superconductivity now in your technology because that's what your consciousness needs to do. It needs to become superconductive. So energy will flow freely, unimpeded, smoothly, and you can transition smoothly and experience the transitions in a smooth way. Without resistance, without pain, without suffering. You will always have challenge, but challenge never needs to be experienced with suffering and pain, at least not anymore. That's again the whole idea of waking up to the fact that you're creating your reality. If you know that that's the case, then choose what you prefer. Remember, karma, as you call it, is completely self-imposed. And the easiest way to dissolve the concept of karma is to understand that it's completely self-imposed. Because it's just all about the idea of balancing the consequences of your choices. That's all karma is, balancing the consequence of your choices. So if you know what choices you prefer, let the other choices you don't prefer be equally valid. Keep them balanced. Don't devalue them. Otherwise, you actually give them more energy. They tip the scales in that sense and have more power because you give them more power by devaluing them because you're focusing on them in that way, adding more negative energy to them. But if you leave them as all things being equal, all choices being equally valid, then you can easily choose which one you prefer and tip the scale in that direction. Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes.
Anything else?
Yes, one more thing.
Yes.
I have a question because everybody was talking about dreaming. When you
Yes.
go into a really deep sleep,
Yes.
and you feel like you're in another world, and you wake up,
Yes.
and then you wonder, well, what am I doing back here?
Yes. What about it?
It's just a weird feeling. How do you know?
All
It's
right,
like you
it's
feel
a
like you're
weird
in
feeling.
Several different places at one time.
Yes.
So I'm just feeling. Am I connecting up with my higher consciousness?
You
with
could
that?
be. Dreams are many things. Anything from simply a true recapitulation of the day's events to actual visitations to other dimensions of reality, and your physical mind is making whatever sense it can out of that trip that it has no ability to relate to, and creating a dream out of whatever symbolic ideas it can make sense out of. And that may be part of the weird feeling, is that it's a little bit disorienting because your physical mind doesn't always know exactly what to make of where you've actually been. Because sometimes you go from the physical mind's point of view to some really weird places.
That's for sure.
And then from that perspective, coming back to physical reality will seem, as you say, weird by comparison once you got used to the other reality. So it's just a matter of perspective. Make sense?
It does.
Thank you. Pleasant dreams.